How do you rehearse? What do you rehearse? 7 wrong approach to rehearsals I see young musicians make constantly. The rehearsal stage and the performance stage, as the names are different, so are their purpose. They share the same space, the same instrument, but carries different purpose. The rehearsal stage or the rehearsal studio is not the place for fun. It's not the place to impress any. It's not the place to impress listeners. But it is the ground where weaknesses are focused on and strengths are gathered through constant drilling, not forced on, but willingly. You see, whenever a musician starts focusing on his weaknesses, you find a musician that will constantly get better in his performance. One simple truth is no one is born with any ability, but abilities are developed over time with constant study and practice. So whenever we see a man that is very good at a particular craft, let's go and check. He picked interest first, then he started working constantly. Don't forget that line, constantly. One simple reason I know a lot of people will abandon music for other crafts is the stress from rehearsals. You see, the rehearsals ground does not come with any form of praise, any form of compliment. It comes with only constant drilling. So you see a man that yesterday what he could not actually perform is performing it today, and instead of his coaches to be applauding him, is looking at the next weakness that he has. Because no man is without weakness. Every one of us is with one form of weakness or the other. When you find a man without compliment for the hard work he has done, but only for that challenges that is directed to fix or to disgrace a performance in the future. Imagine yourself spending the next 10 hours and all that is expected from you is just focus on areas you know you are not good at and remain on it until you master it. You see, one of the most difficult things is dwelling on our weakness, as in focusing on that weakness, that angle that you know that this thing, is difficult. That is one of the greatest weakness every man has. And when you are compelled to remain on your weakness, it takes maximum discipline to remain on it. Funny, you see. One of the truths that can introduce dissatisfaction is when the subject is based on areas you do not. So you see the young musicians rehearsing as if they are already on stage performing, just to dismiss the need to look inward and find a better version of themselves on that particular craft. One simple reality is focusing on showmanship can never correct mistakes. Never forget this. If you treat your rehearsals as performance, you will play on errors instead of stopping to fix them. So calm, focus on the weakness and start rehearsing today. It's always right to start when you've identified what the issue is. So start today. If you have been rehearsing and your rehearsals was purely performance, keep performance aside and start rehearsing, working on the weakness that you know today. Another mistake I see a lot of young musicians make is rehearsing without goals. Rehearsing without clear goals. It is an error going into rehearse without knowing what needs fixing. It's an error. Going into the place of rehearsals without knowing what needs to be achieved leads to waste of hours. And as you know, time is the greatest gift and you don't want to waste it. Especially in the ground of rehearsals, you don't want to waste time. I hear many using this phrase over and over again. Let us just practice and see how it goes. Funny, we already know how it will go. And most of the times, this happens because we fail to acknowledge the place of mental rehearsals, which is very important. So many are so excited in the place of rehearsals. So after they leave the place of rehearsals, all they think of is the exciting moments they had because they were not rehearsing. If they were rehearsing, The focus after the rehearsals will not be the exciting moment. It will be the moments that need fixing. And how can you come to the place of knowing the areas that need fixing? You need to observe your quiet times and go through the previous rehearsals mentally or through recorded sections and check for your weakness during the previous rehearsals. Pick what was difficult to achieve and start on that and continue until you've mastered what was difficult in the previous. So we grow. Common saying, practice makes perfect. But don't be deceived though. Practicing what you already have mastered will not improve you in any form. That is what we call performance. And the bad end to this is, if you're not improving, you will not be worthy for the next better gig. All right, let's look at the joy of rehearsals briefly. What is the reward? All the hours burnt into rehearsals is only appreciated and rewarded during performance. And the funny line is, performance might just be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, max 1 hour, 30 minutes. For those that are playing professional music anyway. If the quality of your gigs are not improving, one of the key areas to check is your growth speed. And how do you know if you are growing? Check your rehearsals. Are you improving, or you are just going to enjoy yourself during the rehearsals? Or you are going in to drill yourself? If you are rehearsing the right materials that are focused on your weaknesses, the quality of your gigs will start improving. God is a labor rewarder. So if you labor, you will receive the blessing for taking all those hours out, pushing it to music. Another mistake I see young musicians make constantly, relying on group rehearsals instead of personal practice. This is an attitude I see young musicians exhibit. How can you go to rehearse and open others to cover you? How? Yes, they will cover you, but how long? How long do you think you can last under their shadows? Take for an instance, the singer you rely on failed to show up on a particular day, and you are the next in line to take the lead. See, growth is a personal matter, not collective. It's either you are growing or stuck. Is there anything like stuck even? If there's anything like stuck, okay, that's a better one. If you're stuck, better. But I think you'll be moving backward. It's either you are progressing or you are retrogressing. It's one out of the two. But you see, there's no hiding ground when it comes to entertainment business. There's no hiding ground. One day you come out. So instead, why not give in your best? Give in the rehearsals needed today that will enable you stand out tomorrow. This is why you see few that comes in recently, leading those that have been in the system for years. Why? They've been hiding under the shadows of others. You see them murmuring and grumbling against their management of not appreciating them. But if we check it, have you done your own side of the bargain? Your own side of the coin, is it cleaned off? Your own side, have you taken care of it before this incident of them trying to lay aside and bring in someone fresh? When you depend solely on band rehearsals and skipping personal preparation, remember there is God, and He will not use an ability you do not have through you. You need to understand, music is a personal business. Music is personal business. We play as a band, but the strength of a band is dependent on the individuals' abilities. So the next time you see a very strong band, know that the individuals, they are musicians that don't play with their personal rehearsals. A band can rehearse 8 hours in a week, but individuals rehearse minimum 10 hours a day. You see, if you have not done your warm-ups before showing up for the group rehearsals, your unpreparedness will show up and slow down the whole team. And you see one unfortunate fact. Some regret having you in their team when you have not done your own part. Because instead of them running with so much speed, they are being slowed down. Funny. You don't want to be that person that someone will secretly be regretting sharing the same band with because of your attitude to rehearsals. All right, this is another very serious mistake we see young musicians make, ignoring timing and dynamics. These are very important aspects of music, but you see beginners not having a clue. Singing is not just all about notes and lyrics. There are pause that controls the rhythm. You are as good as adapting to count. Timing in music is very, very important. You cannot just get it together. You must give it a serious attention. Rhythm. When starting up an artist, the first important drill for me is clean notes. Immediately we are achieving fair notes. So I'm using that word. Fair notes. I'll be pressing for counts. Because if you do not fix notes and counts, dynamics will be pure noise. Don't forget, in all you're getting, get these three pillars. If you play down on dynamics, timing, and focus on lyrics and rhythms, you will surely end up with a bad expression that will lead to bad impression. Never rehearse without your metronome during your heavy rehearsals. Another mistake you see them make is rehearsing what is easy. If it is easy, why are you rehearsing it? Why not go for difficult stuffs? The simple way to making no progress is dwelling in the glory of yesterday. Growing to becoming a better version of yourself as a musician begins with a strong desire, backed up with a strong decision to get better at everything you do. If you are going to rehearse and end up playing what you already know, what is the difference between rehearsals and performance? Rehearsals time is our golden opportunity to truly work on ourselves. Okay, let's clarify this. There's a level you attain, you can be rehearsing during performance. And the audience will not realize because of how far you have grown. Whenever you find yourself playing what you're already comfortable with, it is simply because you feel comfortable. And in comfort, things hardly go. Spend all possible time working on difficult sections that actually need the time. Another strong mistake I see beginners make is practicing while distracted. Rehearsing when tired, unfocused, or in an environment they are not relaxed. Never go to the place of rehearsals and come out without learning something new. If you get in and nothing new was added, just know that it was a wasted time and avoid that. Know the moment, the condition you were and you weren't able to absorb anything new. And whenever you are in those moods, avoid rehearsals. Because there is a thin line between performance and rehearsals. And you do not want to waste your time. Because if you say you are rehearsing and you are actually performing because you are distracted with the issues of life that you could not actually see beyond, it becomes an issue. Another mistake, and this will be the last for this series, not reviewing or recording rehearsals. Many musicians rehearse without evaluating themselves, if they are progressing or they are stuck in a particular spot. And if you do not record your rehearsals, you cannot evaluate yourself. You cannot tell when you are moving forward or you are actually doing the same stuffs and the abilities are not developing. You cannot evaluate yourself when there's no reviews. So if you are not recording, do yourself the favor of sitting down mentally, go to your rehearsals and see the scales you weren't able to actually freely play. See, okay, was your fingers not flexible enough? Do I need to work on my fingers? What happened? Is it that you've not rehearsed so much, so your muscle memories are not so effective? What else do I need to do? Because it's not all the time that you play from your mind. There are times that it is just muscle memories that is actually doing the whole job. If you don't review, you cannot tell what needs to be done differently. So you must review. And when you see a particular mistake, be kind enough. Whenever you make that same mistake, be kind to pause and work on it until it becomes easy for you to play. And do not make the mistake of making a mistake and moving forward because no one is actually there monitoring you. Be kind to your own self, knowing that the stage is your focus. And if you do not get it right, the stage will not be ready for you as of when due. So be your own monitor. Don't wait. Do not wait for others to monitor you. Monitor yourself and get it right. All right, this will be it for now. Do well to subscribe. Do well to like. Do well to comment. Till I come your way again, do have a lovely and blessed time. Bye-bye.